And what is the vibe like? Because I saw heads down after that Denmark game. Just been talking to Jared Bowen in the press conference about the fact that we still got 4 points and top of the group. But it did feel like everyone was a bit deflated by the performance. What's the vibe been since that game on Thursday night?
Well, the vibe's been, it's been fine. It's been good. The morale's good in the camp, and of course, we want to win a game of football, but we're still in a good position. We control the group. We're top of the group with 4 points, and it's in our hands to go win the next game and top it. So, we're in control of the group, and it's not so easy to win games of football in tournaments. Obviously, it's my first experience, and I've never known what it's like inside, and seeing it, it's difficult to win a game of football in a tournament. So, the point's not the end of the world, and we're still in a good position.
Tell me the difference between being a player watching as an England fan on the outside versus being a player in camp, part of the tournament.
Well, I'm sober this time. Usually I'm drunk. Yeah.
I mean, that is. Yeah. I'm glad you're sober.
Yeah. No, of course, it's completely different. I'm just usually watching it with my friends and having a good time and singing some songs and celebrating. But this time's obviously completely different. Seeing a completely different side of the tournament, and I'd rather be here than in my local pub watching the game.
Yeah, I mean, look, you can't drink if you want to be ready. So I'm really glad you told me that.
Yeah.
But also, when you hear the noise on the outside, don't you? Whereas, are you guys protecting yourselves? I know some will still want to go on social media, but how do you kind of see that difference, like the narrative outside versus inside?
Yeah, I think people and players deal with it in different ways. Some people see it and don't care. Some people see it and it affects them, and some people don't look at all. So, I think that's a very individual thing, the way you deal with social media and noise from the outside. Obviously, a lot of these players are at big clubs anyway, and they have to deal with it day in, day out. So, we're accustomed to dealing with noise, and it's just the main focus of the group is focusing on inside and know what we're about and know what we're trying to achieve and do it our way.
So give me an idea of what it is like inside that camp. I'm hearing so many amazing things, but how are you keeping yourselves occupied and calm and chilled out? Is there anything specific you're doing?
There's a lot of Uno going on, a bit of golf, darts. There's all sorts going on. And obviously there's a spa there for recovery and relaxing, and the camp's amazing up there, and it's got everything.
Who's winning Uno?
Oh, it's up and down. It keeps changing around. Yeah,
okay.
I've had a few days off. To be fair, who's the best? David might be Esri. Okay. He's alright, I think.
Have you played double before? I was playing double.
I played double with my kids. Yeah,
it's good, isn't it?
It's actually frustrating because my kids always beat me. So I'm not going to bring double out.
No, well, that's why. Although maybe you'll have the edge if they've beaten you. They've taught you all the tricks you need. Yeah. Let's talk about Mark Gahey, if you don't mind, because you've partnered him in defence with England on a few occasions now, and we've seen him really step up. He's still only 23 years old. Obviously, we know his leadership qualities from the under-21s, but how far can he go from your central defender point of view?
Yeah, he can keep growing and growing and growing and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I think he's shown, obviously there was a lot of talking points about that position coming into the tournament, and he's probably shut them down by the performances he's put in the first two games. I think he's been outstanding. The way he's defended and been on the ball has been very good. So, credit to him to stepping up in this tournament and doing the job he has.
Do you think that criticism was unfair coming into the tournament? It almost feels as if now the focus has shifted from defence to the attack.
Yeah, and I think, and maybe next week you could change the opposite way, couldn't it? So, I think there's always going to be discussions on different positions, different players, and it's how you either want to listen to it or you shut it off and you don't really care about it. So, there's always going to be some noise from the outside, and it's how we control it on the inside.
So a lot of the noise actually is coming from the inside, because it is what the players have told me, and what Gareth Southgate has said as well in terms of the pressing. And pressing as a team as opposed to pressing as individuals. Can you give me a little bit of insight from a player's point of view about what you do in training in order to get that press intense, and why it's maybe lacking at the minute?
Yeah, it's difficult because I think a lot of it at the moment, obviously club level, you press very differently. Some are man v man, some press sit off, and it's just getting that blend of from the manager's game plan and get it, because naturally sometimes people do press with where you do every day. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's getting that
natural.
Yeah, I think especially if you do it all season, and then sometimes you can get an individual that used to do it their way, and it's just trying to focus on the game plan set out and making it as clear as possible and understanding it as a group to put it on the game day. So yeah, I think we've been struggling with that a little bit, and probably giving up a bit too much ball possession where we don't usually do. And yeah, it's something we're speaking about inside, and something we're going to improve on.
How different is it to, for example, what you're doing at Brighton? Like how many of the players are having to press differently to what they do?
No, because I think in the end of the day, it's all similar. Obviously, there's a slight tweaks. Do you know what I mean? So they're not exactly one's doing it this all the way over here and the other one's all the way over there. There's slight tweaks, and yeah, we just need to make sure we press as a group and at the right times and make the right decisions. I think it's probably more decision making, and decision making under pressure is hard. So yeah, it's probably that's the thing at the moment, the decision when to go and when not to go as a team.
It's got one more question to ask before we do some fun questions, if you like. But it's on the mentality of the group. I understand there's not a psychologist with the group this time. I'm wondering how you're finding that, if you use somebody at Brighton, because both Gareth Southgate and Declan Rice have kind of talked about some of the players maybe trying too hard and wanting to succeed too much. How do you see that?
We have a psychologist at Brighton. I wouldn't have I use her too much. I'm quite a one that I like dealing with myself and in my own way, and that's not really usually speaking about it. But obviously everyone's different, so some people might use her more than me. But yeah, I think of course we all want it. The whole country wants it, and it's controlling that wanting it too much, and then wanting it too much, you can lose the performance. And yeah, maybe you look at the game the other day and the performance was lost a bit because of that. And yeah, it's controlling how much we want it and focusing on here and now and not the end.
Just one final question. I said one final question before, but then I forgot. You're sat in front of me and you've got a new manager, which must be really surreal when you've not met him yet. He's a year younger than you.
He is, yeah.
What did you make of the news when that came in, and how difficult is it knowing that you're going back to a complete change?
Of course, it's always an exciting time to see what your new manager's going to bring. Yeah, and I enjoy learning off different managers, and I've had completely different managers all throughout my career, bringing different sides of my game out. So yeah, it's another exciting prospect of learning his style and the way he wants to play. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Have you ever had a manager younger than you?
I certainly haven't, no.
Okay, so it's, what's your immediate kind of thought on that?
I must be getting old. Nah.
32, you're not. Nah. I tell you.
To be fair, I said in the interview earlier, I think in football, players are getting younger, managers are getting younger. I think it's the modern game now. And yeah, obviously he's got the job for a reason. Like age, just when you put a 17-year-old, 16-year-old and play the game, age doesn't matter in there. If you're ready, you're ready. So he's done obviously a great job at St. Pauli before now, and he's earned the right to come to us. And yeah, we're looking forward to seeing what he can bring.